How's everybody doing today? Thank you, I appreciate that. My name's Todd, this is John, he's my good friend and colleague, and today we're gonna talk about streamlining complex compliance engagements. And more to the point, Alicia was right, John. Managing compliance, well, you guys know. And with that in mind, I do want to point out the fact that we here at Total Compliance Tracking understand your plight. We've been there, we've seen it, and we see what you're up against going forward. And what we've noticed is that today, the existing approaches leave a lot to be desired, right? A lot of spreadsheets, a lot of SharePoint, right? A lot of disparate systems, network drops, email, text message, a lot of this, right? And there's difficulty migrating evidence via the workflow, and we all know how much manual reporting is a problem. So the other thing that we've noticed here is that, there we go. The manual tracking, lack of scalability, the level of effort, and the wasted time are really what people are trying to overcome, right? The compliance workflow and the amount of time invested into managing the engagements is costing you and your clients money. And assessment firms specifically hate how much time it takes to generate the ROC, and we like to help people with that. Ultimately, the pain that's experienced in dealing with slow vendors above and beyond the internal struggles that you are already having to get this right is your biggest problem. And we want to ask you a question. And that question is very simple. What if you had one single system? What if you had everything you needed in one spot, available from anywhere, completely consolidated forms of communication, all of your supporting explanations, all of your evidence, a complete certification history, all in one manageable end-to-end workflow? Well, I'd like to talk to you today about TCT Portal for PCI DSS version 4.0. With the TCT Portal, you can migrate evidence from overlapping requirements in 3.2.1. You can easily refer to evidence from your prior year's assessment. You have the ability to automate the summary of assessment, finding tables in the ROC and the AOC, in addition to the bulk justification updates. Now, we've got the integration to the NFI that John's going to talk about in a bit, and you have the ability to create and link custom approaches. So for all of you assessors out there, you don't want to burden your clients with asking them overcomplicated questions. We don't want that for you either. Ask them a simplified question. Get the information that you need, bring it into the portal, and allow that to map directly to the corresponding requirements. And now, my good friend John Dotson, our head of product here at TCT, is going to give you a little bit of a live demo. John?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My mic's working. Yeah, so I'm going to basically be going through the live demo as soon as it transitions over. There we go.
There we go.
So essentially, I'm going to walk you through the portal, talk about some of the functionality, run through it, and really just talk about how the portal can help you manage complex engagements. So as you can see on the screen here, logging in, we don't just do PCI. We're at the PCI conference. PCI is what we're going to be talking about.
It's mostly because we love you guys, though. To be entirely honest, you're our people. We appreciate you.
Yeah, but we absolutely do all compliance management, and we have mappings between those frameworks. So as you're going in, if you have a complex compliance engagement where you're dealing with multiple different certifications, the ability to map evidence across those different standards is critical, and the portal absolutely can support that. But as you get into an assessment itself, the first screen you're going to land on here is going to be the dashboard overview page. And I apologize, we're running off hotspot here, so it is
less than hot.
Yeah, indeed. So as the dashboard loads up here, essentially what you're looking at is this section status grid up along the top. This is giving you a breakdown of all of the This is a breakdown of the workflow. This is completely customizable. You can have as many or as little steps involved in the process as you'd like.
Can we name them different things though?
Absolutely, yeah. They can be named whatever you want to call them. So you can go in there, you can dynamically update them, ensure that it's aligned with your workflow that you're already used to using. Over here to the right, you can see just it gives you a snapshot, a breakdown of the percentage of how many items are in each one of those workflows. This is an up-to-date real-time analysis, so you can see exactly where everything's at the current moment. And a breakdown of the different sections in the standard. So your executive summary, requirements 1 through 12, the appendices, the AOCs, there's even INFI items that can be captured. It's all captured right here in this, this section status grid. Clicking anywhere on here quickly jumps you to the items that you're looking for. You want to see everything in requirement 1.
Quickly is a relative term on Hotspot.
Indeed. Now, within each one of these workflow steps, you can have multiple individuals assigned. So changing the view here from like status to assigned, it's going to give you a breakdown of every single one of the requirements and all the different people in your assessment. So you can have multiple people assigned at any point in time. You can see James, Christina, Lauren, Eric, Sam, all individuals at that kind of client level. Each one has a subset of items assigned out to them. So you can even filter further down than, than just the status itself. And the last thing that we really like to show off on this area is just being able to take this same information and turn it into a graphical representation.
I mean, quite simply, when you're having status call meetings, when you're trying to manage up with this information, people like pictures.
So the bottom half of this dashboard, as you'll see here, it's filtered by my requirements. This is the to-do list for each person. So it becomes really easy to identify what specifically, as an individual, do I need to do in this tool. So being able to come in, I can see the exact items that are assigned to me. I can click the view or the attach evidence buttons, takes me straight to that requirement. I can begin working on it. Once I complete it, I've uploaded my evidence, I've passed it forward to the QSA for review. That item is going to be removed off my list. It's going to be added to the QSA's list. So when they log in, they're going to see that item listed on their list of requirements. So it just becomes really easy to identify what you need to work on, when you need to work on it, how long it's been in your hands for, and to be able to quickly navigate over to that information as you need to. So moving into the actual certification itself, this is where you get into the specific details of the requirement.
This is where all the work is done.
Exactly. So when you're looking at this, you bring up the certification tab, you have the ability to quickly filter on the different requirements that you want to go to. When you expand that out, you can see the individual items here. So if I expand out like 1, 2, 3, the network diagram requirement as we're looking at it here, you're able to see that the first thing you'll have is the ability to capture the summary of assessment findings of that particular requirement. So the ability to set it in place, not applicable, not in place, and the ability to create. There's a bunch of different items here. You can link a customized approach. You can link a CCW. You can create an INFI for this particular item. So you have all the fields to be able to kind of capture that information, create those items, link them to the individual the requirement. That's all going to dynamically update the ROC when we generate it at the end of the report too. So it'll auto check off the boxes for yes or no, depending on if you chose to link a customized approach or a CCW. So that's going to save you easily 2,000, 3,000 clicks of checkboxes as you're filling out if you were filling out a ROC manually.
I mean, unless you wanted to do the 2,000 to 3,000 checkboxes yourself, you can't.
Now, as you get into the individual requirements here, you can see the details located up at the top. This is explaining the actual, this is directly off of the standard. This is the requirement itself. So we have that information displayed right up here at the top. You'll see a series of tabs down at the bottom. These just allow you, you have these like guidance and examples tabs. These allow additional context as to what's required of this item. So you can see we've got the actual PCI ROC guidance listed out here. So all those details are provided, so you can easily identify what specifically as the council provided as information.
What's the stuff at the top, John?
That's the assessor guidance. So as an assessor coming into the tool, you have the ability to supply your own custom guidance on top. This allows you to just go in, enter in additional context. We've seen people answer frequently asked questions, various things of that nature that you can put up here just to provide extra information to your clients. So when they're looking at the requirements above, they have more understanding as to what's expected. Going hand in hand with the guidance is the examples. So as an assessor, you could even upload an example. So in this case, if this is talking about the network diagram, if you have a sample of what a network diagram should look like, you could upload that here so your clients have a complete understanding as to what they should be uploading.
Or if you're an ISA lead, you get to do the exact same thing just for your internal process.
Exactly. Yeah, so this works all around the board. The next two tabs we have here, these are the evidence tabs. So when someone's supplying over evidence, they can do so in the form of an explanation. So they can come in and they can enter in a detailed explanation describing exactly how this item's being met.
Can I copy and paste stuff in that though, John?
Absolutely, yeah. Copy and paste.
Oh, okay.
You can bring it from outside sources. It'll maintain that formatting. So it's full HTML. You can drop in images. You can do anything that you need in that.
But
in
like
those fields.
360 characters, or
Yeah, no character limits.
Oh, okay.
So they can enter in as much details as needed to say exactly how they're meeting this item. Then you get to the attachments. This is where you can upload documents. So being able to actually add the documents directly into the tabs that you're working on. So being able to upload as many different documents as you want. There's no limit to the amount of documents that can be added to an individual requirement. Supports all file type extensions. So you can really just, however you gather up the evidence, you can upload it into the tool.
You mean I don't have to go back into SharePoint?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and being able to take that information, and once all that's uploaded, as a client, you can come over here and you can say, yes, this item's complete, pass it up to either the ISA or the QSA to do a review of that evidence and make sure that everything is meeting the requirement as needed. Now, coming in as, say, a QSA, you're able to see that the items are, you can review the evidence, you can click any one of these documents to open them up, download multiple documents at once if you want to. And then at that point, you can go over to the report text tab and you can actually fill out the information that's going to show up on the final report. So being able to open up that report text area, you'll see that you're expected to put in those reference numbers. So being able to come in and quickly make references to those Section 6 tables is going to be critical. So down at the bottom, we've got a series of radio buttons allowing you to quickly bring up those Section 6 tables. So documents, interviews, observations, system evidence. So all those are your Section 6 tables that you've been managing, and you can quickly either just select everything, and hit a pinned in line, a pinned bulleted list to drop in specifically what you're working on there. So it just really helps streamline the process. You don't have to have those tables up and up on the side, or if you're working on a Word document, you're not scrolling up and down in the Word document to figure out which reference numbers you need to append to an individual item. Now, once this is all said and done, all the requirements are essentially laid out in the same manner. Once all of that is done, at the very end of this, you have the ability to generate the ROC itself. So coming up to reporting, you'll have a button here that says new. You click that, it sends out the request to generate the reports.
Wait. So when you generate the report, then it comes out, and then I have to format it, and then put it on the council's paper and all those things, right?
No, it comes directly out on the council's paper. Completely formatted, so it's the full completed ROC. It comes out with the AOCs, and the incorporation of the MFI worksheets have been included as well. So if you identified any specific items noted for improvement, it'll capture all of those. It'll fill out that document for you, so you're able to gather all of those documents up, pull them right out of the tool as needed. All right, Todd. I think that pretty much covers the main portions of what I wanted to show for the demo.
I'm going to ask you one more question, John. What about continuous compliance? Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So from a compliance standpoint, what you saw there was essentially what we would call a one-time assessment mode, but we absolutely have continuous compliance where you can take any requirement, you can set up a recurring frequency, whether it be monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, annually, and the system will actually send out notifications to the individuals assigned, letting them know that those tasks are up and coming, and allow them to just stay on track with things that they're expected to be handling over the period of the year.
Now, I know that you said that the tool handles things for more than just PCI, but what about all that evidence? Can you repurpose that?
100%. And in fact, let me just quickly jump over into HIPAA as an example, where you can bring that evidence directly in. So say you're working on a PCI assessment and you choose, and you're ready to do HIPAA as well. All that evidence that you've collected in PCI can automatically be brought in and satisfy those HIPAA assessments as well. So being able to, sorry, I'm just waiting for this to load. So if I go and I expand out a HIPAA requirement here, when I get into the details, like the explanation, you can see here where it's showing these linked icons. It's telling you, it's bringing over the explanations from PCI, specifically, in this case, 115A and 122A from a 321 ROC.
It's got the corresponding controls listed right next.
Absolutely, and so it just brings it straight in. I didn't have to upload this information. It's dynamically brought in and handles any other types of cross mapping across these different standards.
Thanks, John.
Absolutely.
I like the way you think. There we go. Now, so as we mentioned, the TCG portal is for more. Thank you.
Yeah,
the TCG
absolutely.
portal is for more than just PCI. We currently have over 150 industry standard certifications up on the portal. And our process is, if you're a TCT client and you have a certification that you need or your clients need and it's not on the portal, we'll upload it for you for free, quite simply because if you're going to need it, someone else is going to need it as well. And the way that we look at it is, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. So we're always trying to get better. 95% of the customer-facing releases that come out of TCT come at the behest or suggestion of our current clients. We're listening. We want to hear what you have to say so we can help you do you better. Now, just a little bit about TCT, because I'm sure you're dying to know. We were founded in 2013. The portal went live early 2015. And quite simply, our mission is just to help others. We know that your job is tedious at times. We want to help you do what you do better for you and for your clients. Quite simply, we want to make managing compliance suck less. Thank you.
Thank you.